A couple of weeks ago, I was visiting one of our middle school classes down at the school, and I asked them a question. Did you like having class when it was over Zoom and you were able to do it from at home? Or would you rather come in person for classes in school? Would you like to guess how they responded to me? Isn't it wonderful in these weeks that we can do more and more things in person just like they were before? But in the midst of all of this, of going out to restaurants, being able to go to stores without masks on, seeing our sports schedules come back to the way they were before, I'd like to make an invitation to you. If you haven't come back already, I'd like to invite you to come back to Mass, to come home to Christ. This weekend as Catholics, we celebrate the Feast of Corpus Christi, which allows us to celebrate the great sacrament of the Holy Eucharist, of Christ's body and blood, soul and divinity, that we receive at Holy Communion every time we come to Mass. We reflect, too, how central this sacrament is to our lives as His disciples. Over the course of the pandemic, I know that when the churches were closed, so many of you were so creative in how you kept Sunday as the Lord's Day, especially by watching Mass on TV. Now, this was certainly good when we had no alternative, but of course, it lacked one thing, that when you're watching Mass on TV or on a computer screen, you can't receive Holy Communion. It's kind of like Zoom was during the pandemic. Wasn't it great when we couldn't see our family and friends in person, that at least we could see them through the computer? But now that we're able to see them in person, we want to do that instead, right? Because there's just something about being in person and real, rather than simply looking at a screen. Well, our worship is no different. During the pandemic, we all did what we could. But now that we're able to come back to church, shouldn't we want to come back and worship with our sisters and brothers in the Lord, and together to receive Holy Communion? Now, perhaps you've been away from Mass much longer than the course of the pandemic. Well, this invitation is to you too. Even if it's been many years since you've come to Mass, I'd like to invite you to come home to Mass, to come home to Christ. Maybe your situation in life means that you're not able to receive Holy Communion at Mass. Well, again, this invitation is for you. And please give me a call or send me an email so I can work with you so that you're able to receive Holy Communion once again. Perhaps watching this, you're homebound. If someone isn't already visiting you from our parish to bring you Holy Communion, well, again, please give me a call, and I'll make sure that we have someone come out. So even if you can't come to Mass because of physical limitations, at least Christ can come to you. So this weekend, as we celebrate the great feast of Corpus Christi, of Christ's body and blood, soul and divinity, please accept my invitation to come home to Mass, to come home to Christ.